Hey, Drew here with Plot First, and I'm going to be reviewing, reacting to the trailer for Disney's Artemis Fowl, which I really don't know anything about. I'm getting the idea that it's supposed to be kind of like Harry Potter, although I get the sense that that might not be a comparison that sits too well with the Fowlsters. I mean, what is the moniker that you prefer to use if you're a fan of this series? I don't know. So if you have a preferred moniker as an Artemis Fowl fan, let me know in the comments. So I don't really know anything about this. I know about the cast and the director. I know that this was a book apparently in 2001, and it's taken them 19 years to get it to the screen, and I'm sure that means that all the people who read it back in 2001 are really stoked for this, because that's usually how that works. The longer you take to make an adaptation, the more excited people are. So let's see what this looks like.
We want to know everything about the man you work for.
The man? Oh no. This isn't about the father. This is about the son.
Josh
Artemis Fowl.
Gad with a raspy voice. What?
You've grown strong, son. And smarter than I ever imagined.
Then take me with you.
You're all I have now, Artie. There's just one very important thing I have to do.
Authorities launched a worldwide manhunt for the famous collector. He is suspected to have been behind some of the biggest robberies ever.
Oh no.
Hello?
Your family has taken something of great value from us. Return it to me or I will destroy everything you love.
You weren't supposed to see this yet.
Ooh, he's got his own butler. This doesn't remind me of anything.
Is in a complicated profession. For years, he has protected powerful secrets that have kept mankind
Down to the
safe
Batcave.
from of another world. It's time to face your destiny.
What was that?
But we are not alone in this.
Mulch Diggum's just a talented giant dwarf.
And I'm Holly Short, your ally on the other side. It's real. All right, save my father, save the world.
Whole team ready, tell them we on deck.
Scared, Artemis?
I prefer scared to dead.
May. Wow,
An army is coming.
that's a good release date for this.
You think you can beat us?
We'll see.
Wow.
Who do you think you are?
I'm the next criminal mastermind.
Now look around, this is what they call greatness.
I didn't read much on trolls. Anything I should look out for?
The teeth.
They people. Good to know.
Well, I think, You know, it's interesting. I don't want to be too harsh. I think I would have liked that a lot as a kid, for sure. If I was a kid in 2001 and I really liked this book, I'm not sure how I would feel about this. It's interesting because I've actually never been that much of a Harry Potter fan. I mean, they're okay, but I read the books and watched the movies when I was 19, which was just, I think, a little too old to get on that train. The series had already been completed, and I just didn't investigate till then. And I had thought I would like it a lot more than I did. So I kind of realized at that point that I just kind of realized if you reach a point where if you're not nostalgic about something, if it wasn't something that you enjoyed as a kid, it's hard for you to get too excited about it as an adult. But I appreciate, I always appreciate when people make movies that are theoretically, like, not for kids per se, like I'm sure that they're hoping they get a family audience, but I always feel bad when something is more targeted at kids and kids don't like it because they just made it too adult and kind of boring for kids. So this looks to me like something I really, really would have liked as a kid. You know, it's directed by Kenneth Branagh. Typically, you know, I think of him as a very, very good director of actors. Like, he gets really good performances out of actors, but his movies always have this very, very stagey quality to them. He's kind of, you know, 0 for 4 now, from my perspective. I know some people liked his directorial efforts, but, you know, probably the best of the bunch that he's done lately was Murder on the Orient Express. And the reason that one worked more than the others was because, as I said, it was a little bit more stagey. So whenever he has to deal with special effects, I just don't know how well he handles spectacle. But, you know, Disney, they have quite a apparatus behind the scenes, so maybe they'll just do all the work for him and be like, you direct the actors and we'll take care of all the cool, shiny stuff. I also just kind of wish, I mean, I know this is just symptomatic of movies in general now, but I wish movies could look more real. Everything in this movie just looks, you know, not real. It's CGI. What can you say? It's not going to change anytime soon, but I wish somebody would just go back to the days, even like the first Pirates of the Caribbean, where they go to interesting locations that are actually real for a good portion of the movie. The cast, you know, to me, the cast just like looks like paint by numbers. I mean, they don't have a single, I guess Josh Gad is kind of interesting because I feel like he's really the only actor in this cast that I don't know exactly what to expect from him in this. Obviously, both Josh Gad and Judi Dench were in Murder on the Orient Express, so Kenneth Branagh seems like he's enjoying working with those actors and excited to get them back into a movie that he's doing. But I feel like Colin Farrell, Judi Dench, and Nonso Anasi, I'm probably butchering that name, they're good actors. Like, I like them in pretty much everything I see them in, but I feel like I know exactly how they're going to play a role. So for me, when I get excited about actors in a Disney movie, it's because it's like, whoa, didn't see that casting coming. That's interesting, you know? So to me, the fact that this casting is a little bit obvious doesn't really pique my interest. They must think they have a good thing to give it that release date, though, because May is when people go to the movies. So they must think that a lot of people will go to see this. So we'll see. I'll have to admit the trailer looked a lot better than I expected it to, but I had very, very low expectations. I guess the one other casting choice I would be excited about is Hong Chow, who played Lady True in Watchmen recently, which I did not like that show. Check out my review. But I definitely thought she was awesome in it, and I've really enjoyed her body of work. Obviously, I believe she's an Oscar nominee for Downsizing. I know she was nominated for the Golden Globe, and honestly, that was just a fantastic performance. I hate that movie, but she was great. So I'm noticing a pattern with Hong Chow. I hate the movies she's in, but I love her in them. Take that for what you will. The writer for this primarily is Michael Goldenberg. His most recent screenplay was Green Lantern in 2011. That's not a vote of confidence on my part, but he also wrote Order of the Phoenix in 2007, which might be what Disney was thinking when they hired him. They're like, we'll get some of that Harry Potter magic. And he also wrote Contact. So Contact is a very good, very, very good movie with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster that came out in '97. So, you know, he's got some good things in his filmography. We'll see how this goes. I mean, I feel like the script is where movies either blow the competition away or, you know, flounder. So I didn't think it boded well that the one attempt at humor in the trailer, to me, came off pretty poorly. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I feel like I don't typically like Disney humor. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments section. Are you excited about the cast? Do you have a big yen for this adaptation? Have you been dying to see it since 2001? So let me know those thoughts, and if you have other thoughts. I'm going to try and put out another video tomorrow in the evening as well. So hopefully you will tune in then as well. That's Plot First's review of the Artemis Fowl trailer. And if you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks.